Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It is the 1 year anniversary show of the Suzette Speaks show. Y'all, I cannot believe I made it. It's 1 year strong since I've been doing YouTube. Seriously, I got a little extra tonight because I felt good. I wanted to look good, smell good, and enjoy and look back at how far I've come. Sometimes you do not get a chance to celebrate your small wins. So 10 years from now, I'll be happy I did this show. And I'm here tonight to celebrate, hopefully, along with each and every one of you, the 1 year birthday party of the Suzette Speaks show. I cannot thank you so much. And I cannot thank you enough. All of my community members, those of you who've been rocking with me since the very beginning, I want to use this show to take a quick look back. I probably spent about 30 minutes or so just celebrating, looking back at the top 10 shows ever of the Suzette Speaks show. If you are a new subscriber, I want you to feel welcome, but I'm going to hopefully introduce you to some of my goodies. What they say, oldies but goodies, my old material where I get to open up a little bit more. If you don't know my story, it started out much more in the self-empowerment space, much more thinking about how to create a better self-image, how to become more self-aware, how to create more self-love for ourselves. And I spoke a lot more to ladies when I first joined. And I think some of those shows are buried, some of those shows are lost, but we're going to open up the archives tonight and we're going to celebrate some of the wonderful guests I've had. Now, I've had several amazing guests, so I do not want to play favorites because there are so many people that didn't make this list I've created, but not because I didn't love them. I tried to select only shows with 1,000 or more views where we hit probably like 2,000 plus and then work my way back. Now, these shows are not in any particular order. I just wanted to refresh your memory and I'm going to start clipping them up, y'all, because there was so much good content. I'm 100 shows strong in the Suzette Speaks live stream playlist. I can't believe it. And from personal, like I say, interpersonal growth shows to the Let's Talk Justice series, where I'm interviewing people regarding politics and high profile court cases, to my relationship shows, which apparently you guys tend to like. There are so many wonderful shows within my catalog, thanks to each and every one of you. So if you're brand new to the space, thank you. And I appreciate you. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button. Thank you so much for rocking with me. It's been a long journey. Sometimes we kind of get discouraged because we're not really where we want to be. But I also want to big up all the folks who made this possible, each and every guest. Whether, again, your show was November, I saw some shows from November of last year, and I'm like, golly, look how far we've come. And some of those shows have 4,000 or 5,000 views now. So I wanted to at least let my people know where we have been and where we're hopefully going tonight. And if you would just go down this trip, take this trip down memory lane with me, and let's celebrate. Let's be a part of history, y'all, because again, who knows where we'll be a year from now. So once again, welcome. It is my 1 year YouTube anniversary. I had to get all dressed for my speakers tonight. I want to welcome you. If you've been a part of this community since the beginning, last October-ish, I was making appearances on TLA last summer, and who knew I would actually be in the game, trying to create content that was interesting for people, that would enlighten, encourage, educate, and empower people. Who knew? And I've made, some changes, some course correcting here and there. Met some wonderful people along this journey. Thank you for all of you who have come into my life through this platform. I would never have imagined. I actually got a little emotional thinking about this moment. Early as I was doing my makeup, I was like, God, this is actually a blessing. I don't want to minimize this. I really wanted to take some time to celebrate this. So all of y'all who've been rocking with me, I really, really do appreciate the encouragement, the feedback, the guest appearances, the likes, the comments, the chat, the shares, all of the topic ideas. Some of you have been emailing me. I'm so sorry. My email is full yet again. But if you're a part of this community, I see you. If you are a person that maybe doesn't like to be in the forefront, don't want to come up on camera, don't worry about it. I see you. I'd rather have people who are genuinely interested in what I'm talking about tend to have, the numbers where, again, people are not really into you. They're subscribed, but they're not really into what you're doing. So I appreciate each and every one of you. So welcome. We're taking a quick look back at where we've been on the SuzetteSpeaks show. I see you, Great Pill Podcast. Thank you for being a part of this journey. I appreciate you. I feel like I want to go out and take a drink, but I actually had too much fun in New Orleans. So I'll save my toast for the weekend. But I still wanted to just celebrate and look back at all the wonderful people that have helped made this journey possible. Gaston's World, you being one of them, you made top 10, brother. Thank you so much early on, helping me to just understand the YouTube game. I really appreciate you. Harrison Family Values, your episode on Are Your Standards Keeping You Single is in the top 10 as well. And thank you. Thank you for so much for being a part of my journey. Always willing to come through. Yay, Miss Glove Girl. Thank you, sis. I'm so grateful you're a part of my community. Thank you for being here. Life of Cash. Good to see you, brother. RM in the building. Thank you so much. Kirk, thank you. I appreciate you being a part of this new aspect of my life. A year ago, I had not anticipated this at all. I couldn't even tell you that I was much more focused on other platforms, funny enough, doing Facebook Lives and other things. I didn't think this would be a realistic avenue that would be sustainable as a possible way of making a living, and more importantly, reaching people that I never thought I would reach. I've been on television before. I've hosted shows here locally in Miami. That's not, unusual for me, but the intimate connection that this platform allows for people to speak back to you in real time has really changed my craftsmanship. I think in my craft as a journalist, and me understanding more and more what the people say is really what matters. You are interested in where you are interested in, which is like my own personal interest, but oftentimes you don't think of every perspective. You don't know, all the information about a specific topic. So what makes this really fun and engaging for me is hearing from each and every one of you and how you see whatever topic, whether we're talking about the Supreme Court, Roe v. Wade, Juneteenth. Shout out to, oh my gosh, I can't start naming my guests. I was going through all my old thumbnails, and I was just taking a pause and just remembering, yo, that was a good show. Yo, I got some good shows in my arsenal, yo. I got some good shows already. Go to the SuzetteSpeaks live streams. I hate to, toot my own horn, but that's what we're doing tonight. I look back, I was like, yo, it's some good shows that could really help people move forward, get over the hump, realize their, again, own self-worth. We're going back to, and I didn't even put it on the list. Shout out to my brethren Links. The God Found My Wife shows, God Found My Husband shows, powerful stuff. I don't know if you guys have watched them, but go back and look, and I'm going to just highlight a few. Again, I'm not saying these are my favorite. I'm going to put the top 10 based on views, right? Which had the most views. I didn't put them in actual order. I started to, but then I ran out of time. But top 10 in terms of views. And then I'm going to put a few of my favorites. That's not to say all my favorites. I'm going to put a few of my favorites because I've enjoyed so many guests. I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be hard to break down. So if you would, please hit the like button. Please share. Please comment. Let me know you're watching. Thank you so much. Congrats all the way from New Orleans, a common sense expert. Just leaving there. Appreciate you. A magnificent. Thank you very much. It's an anniversary show, y'all. I'm not going to be before y'all long, but I wanted to mark this significant milestone. Because oftentimes, like I say, in our lives, we don't feel like we're doing it like the next person, the comparison being the robber of happiness. So I'm looking at that channel and this channel. Well, we're doing the SuzetteSpeaks show the SuzetteSpeaks way. And I'm grateful. Thank you, Harrison Family Values. Showing love. Again, your 2 shows were just amazing. Thank you. Last night's show, let me throw it up there so if people don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all hit the like button as you come in. We got Dr. Tasha coming up. She made the top 10. Her other shows, Would You Marry You and Why Are You Single, are in the top 10. I'm going to go through a few just wonderful memories from these shows, just in case you are new to the community. Maybe you didn't start watching last year this time, but I want you to go back. The catalog is there. Let's just say it. I think there's some good information, good interviews, wonderful reflections on life that hopefully you can use. And when you pass the time at work or when you're on your bike or whenever you're doing whatever, hopefully it becomes something that is a tool as and an escape possibly for each of you. So again, Harrison Family Values, big up yourself. We're going down memory lane. Ebony X in the building. Much congratulations, much blessing, and many more, girl. I'm not going to say the struggle hasn't been real. I'm not going to say there hasn't been moments where I was like, God, are we really doing this? Is this not what you want me to do? Because I'll give it up right now. But again, everybody's growth trajectory is not the same. So you really got to have some resilience and stick-to-itiveness so you don't get caught in the, well, I should talk about what they're talking about, or I should do it this way or that way. Of course, you're going to make tweaks, and I plan to. But at the end of the day, you got to know your own voice, because people will have you on here talking about what they want to in a way that you probably wouldn't want to address it, if you want to address it at all. And then there are other aspects of this where I can see people want you to become what they want if you're not careful. So you have to know who you are clearly so that you hopefully can present your unique point of view to folks. And if they like it, great. If not, hey, it's all good. But shout out to Dr. Tasha. She is in the top 10 twice. Both her shows are over thousands of views. Go back and watch Would You Marry You? And go back and watch Why Are You Single? Incredible shows. And she'll be back this Saturday explaining how we can unlearn what they said. I think there are a lot of family patterns, parenthood patterns that we've learned sometimes we don't want to repeat, but we end up repeating them. So she's going to help us to unlearn some of these patterns that we say we don't want to project now on our families and where we are. We don't want to do it, but we do it, right? We don't want to select that type of partner, like, a parent that maybe wasn't a good role model, but we do it. So how do you unlearn what they told you, right? How do you not let that be a part of your internal narrative? We're going to do some work Saturday. So big up Dr. Tasha. That'll be her third appearance. And again, her other two broke into the top 10 of the SuzetteSpeaks show as we know it, 1 year strong. And I appreciate y'all taking this look back. Thank you, Miss AKA Lady, giving me the cheers. Cheers. All I have, because I came from New Orleans a little rough on the throat. I still have my hot tea. Cheers, sis. Thank you so much for your support, not only here, but through my Patreon community. I really, 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 excuse me, really appreciate you and all my Patreon members. I really thank you for seeing something in me, seeing something in my content and wanting to support it. My growth has been because of you. I've been sustained because of you. And I appreciate y'all, whether it's your feedback, encouragement, and your financial support. Oh my goodness, do not deserve it. I do not deserve it, but I appreciate y'all wanting to support my platform and helping it grow. And I'm so happy. Let me not get in my emotions. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, sis. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Sandy W. Thank you, sis. Congrats. I can't support you as much as I like, but of course, the prayers help too. All of you who will make this channel possible, whatever way you contribute, I really feel you. But we're going to get into this top 10. Thank you, Sandy. Again, thank you to Miss AKA Lady for showing love tonight on the 1 year anniversary special of the SuzetteSpeaks show. Check me out Saturday. Get ready for Dr. Tasha coming through how to unlearn the things, because I did a lot of self-awareness, self-improvement at the beginning of this YouTube journey. Maybe some of you who have joined me in the last 6 months may not see as much of that, but I want you to go back and watch. I'm going to highlight the top 10 right now. Y'all ready? Oh, before I do, go back and watch my brother, since he mentioned it, since Harrison Family Values mentioned it, he came in, he did some work. Y'all go back yesterday, show how single moms raise, so let me get in there, secure sons. Very interesting conversation. Thank you to all the guest panelists who came through and showed love and gave me their perspective. Now, again, some of it I'm not going to say just didn't have me slap confused, but some of it, again, even though I may not agree with it, I want to create a forum where people can just express, say what you got to say. Specifically, I don't hear a lot of male perspective in the work I have done in the past because I focused on women's audiences. And I've thought about that in terms of rebranding. How the heck am I going to balance some of my calling there with what I got going on YouTube? I may have to make a secondary channel. I don't know, y'all. It's a lot. It's too much to discuss right now, but it's a part of the journey. And I hope you will be along with me for those growth phases. Yay, DL Satan. DL, you made the top 10. is it 3 times? Let me get into the top 10, because when you look back at the shows, I want you guys to please leave in the chat or a comment after your favorite Suzette Speaks show or Suzette Speaks moment, period. Oh, did y'all not think he was going to be in that top 10? My number one show on this platform so far, I'm going to put that caveat in there because we growing, y'all, has been my show with none other than lead attorney here. He was my guest last fall after I was on his show, and he put me on the hot seat. Had me looking like a deer in headlights with none other than the late Mr. Kevin Samuels. Lead granted me the privilege of him coming on my show. If you did not see this show, you need to go back and watch it. Lead Attorney on the Hot Seat is my most watched show on YouTube. So I appreciate my brother, Lead Attorney, for being a part of my YouTube journey. He definitely helped, kind of, especially initially, and being a part of his Patreon, kind of sculpting my approach and understanding of this space. And I thank him for everything he did to help me grow. And hopefully, I may have him back. Hopefully, I'll be visiting him. I haven't been able to catch his live streams as much as the summer of 2021. But yeah, everything for its time and everything in its purpose. And I think he was one of those big brothers in the space nice and early to help me understand what the heck is going on and what am I doing. So I appreciate him. Number one so far. Yes, Doug. I thought the stream with TLA was last summer. It was September, October. I was on TLA. Okay, wait a minute. Now this, I'm talking about my stream. The stream that he did on my channel is what I'm referring to. But I was on his platform as a guest, probably like, I think August, September, Doug. So depending on which stream you're talking about, I was on Lead Attorney twice or three times, and then he came over and blessed me. So it depends on which stream you're referring to, but I do think it was late summer. It was not summer, because my guest appearances, I actually probably was on Lead more than that, maybe 5 times, because I had done a couple of guest hellos and comments on different cases over the summer. But the big ones where Kevin Samuels showed up twice is what you're probably referring to. I think it was like September. And then he came over in my channel, maybe October, November. I have to go back and look at the date. But it was fall, I believe, Doug. And shout out to you, Doug, on the super chat. I see you, brother. Thank you. Always firm supporter of the Suzette Speaks show, my 1-year anniversary show, y'all. I can't believe I'm still doing this. Thank you, Doug, on the super chat saying happy anniversary. Boy, that was a moment of YouTube history. I'm glad I was a part of it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when Kevin Samuels came up on a stream that I had no idea Kevin Samuels was going to come up on, part of me was like, what the heck? I just came on YouTube to give my opinion on what was going on, not to be under a microscope. Next thing I know, me, KS, and Lee is on a stream. I had a little bit of a freak out. You guys don't remind me of it. It was one of those moments. Hey, Lando, thank you, Ace, appreciate it. Flowers and chocolate, thank you. I dressed up a little because I felt kind of jazzy. I was just like, yo, celebrate your thing, man. Enjoy your thing. It's not, many people who have come this far, and it's hard work. If I look back, I'm like, I didn't really calculate how much hours I've invested in this. Second job style. Let's go. Side hustle becoming main hustle. Hopefully one day, but slowly but surely. I really, really do appreciate it. And I really appreciate all of you being here and celebrating. Miss AKA Lady says, it's funny how your original direction was women's issues, but now you're kind of consistently having all male panels. God laughed at your girl. I still am confused by this. Over on other platforms, I have more women following me than men. On Instagram, I have more men following me than women. So that blew my mind initially. I was like, what is going on, God? What, you got me. You got jokes, exactly. So I've had to adjust. I definitely have had to adjust. Doug will remind me of that. And the ways in which I had to be like, wait a minute, let me be a little bit broader with my topics. Let me approach them a different way. And I don't know, my ladies are bashful. The men, when they have an opportunity to speak, they will speak up. So yes, my panels stayed diverse with different gentlemen. Sandy W says, I remember when Lee was looking at our beautiful host when she was thick. He taught that mess before that. Listen, Lee was talking about my hands, all kinds of stuff. I was not ready for that. I honestly, sometimes I look back, I was a little traumatized, but all things work together for good. And I'm really grateful for it now, even though, like I said, it was not my way. I didn't feel like I was in control of it. And sometimes those are the best opportunities when you're like thrown into the mix and you're like, what the heck is going on with my life right now? Yes, Doug said I started following you when you appeared first time. That was summer. When I first went over to Lee. Shout out to my boy Chuck. Chuck was the first person to say, "Yo, there's an attorney. He knows, knew me for a while. There's an attorney that is doing YouTube. I think you'd be good at it." Shout out to Chuck. And he was like, "Go up on his panel, do his thing." And I was like, "Really?" And so said, so done. Here we were together. Oh, like peas in a pod. And a lot of you discovered me from Lead. And again, all things work together for good. Oh, yes. Lead was all up on me. Talking about 054. Woo. Don't take me too far back, Ace B. Lead was talking about my height. I was like, Lead, seriously, I don't think you even like girls like me anyway. I think Lead likes them young. I honestly do. But yeah, he was really flattering. I would give him that. And I was like, okay, Lead, stop playing this thing up and get people all up, excited and whatnot. Oh, thank you. I'm trying a dark liner. The hair fryer Pharaoh in the building. I'm trying a dark liner. I usually am accustomed, because it's winter, I love pops of lip, bright colors. But I know the trend is much more like a nude lip, and I'm trying to get better at my nude lip. The girls on a trip to New Orleans, they had the nude lip popping, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna master this. So I'm glad you like it. Appreciate it. Trying to find the colors that blend to give me a more kind of natural but still emphasize what I feel is one of my best assets. Thank you, appreciate you noticing. No, I can't give you this dress. I was trying this dress on because no Kendra G Cam, because I got it altered because I think I'm gonna MC in it when I do Art Basel. So I'm MCing a show. It's a reggae show, December 1st. Y'all know everybody's in town for the art weekend, the international art exhibition called Art Basel. And I got booked, to MC a show. So I've been looking for a dress. I had a dress and I was like, that's the dress. And then I saw this dress and I had to tailor it just a little bit. I was like, tonight would be the best night ever. So y'all, if y'all stay tuned, you might see it when I host for Art Basel. I'll probably maybe put a full picture of me on stage or something, but no, just a sneak peek. I just wanted to make sure the lady tailored it well, and oh yes, it fits nicely. I just need to I got a little bit under a couple weeks. I think I might be able to drink a few smoothies next week, and we'll tailor. No, December 1st. I have a whole month. Sorry, I'm looking at the date. I have a whole month, so by the time Art Basel roll around, it's gonna fit. I'm really excited. But yeah, so far she did a great job kind of pulling it in where I need it. But no Kendra Cam for you, sir. 1 year anniversary, just having a little fun trip down memory lane. Big up lead attorney and everything he helped me to accomplish without even really knowing in this space. Kind of thrown into the lion's den, the wolves kind of was there. I was like, oh my gosh, I was not ready for this. But it was great. It was great. Yes, no, I have not. Yes, lead attorney did want me to get on dating apps. No, and he kept drilling me on doing that. Sir, it's the wild, wild west out here. Yes, I remember the Kevin Samuels pop up. Oh my gosh, I was so shooketh. I was shooketh. I think my face went. People like, we can see you. And I was like, it was my natural promise reaction. And I was like, Lee, this is not what we're doing. Yes, no dating apps for me. Where's Chris Johnson? I seen him. He's one of my early birds coming through. Oh, Chris, you got a different name. Okay, nice to have you. The air fryer Pharaoh. Nice to have you. Okay. Switching up on me. Appreciate you. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through and showing love. Yes, it's been a long time coming, but we're here. Good evening, Quincy. Thank you for being a part of my community here. Appreciate you. Thanks for the congrats. You started from the TLA interview. Okay, so that's where you picked up. I did a lot of, again, more women's consciousness. I hate the word because now women's empowerment has this label, but consciousness and self-awareness and self-development was, and I'm going to show you a couple of those shows because some of them shows did great too. But y'all don't know about the shows because y'all, some of y'all came since 2022 and you may not know some of these old ones. So we're going to go through top 10. So Lead was a number one. Shout out to my brother, We Need to Talk. We did a fantastic show. Dating a high value woman. Lots of great discussion on his channel, first and foremost. Big up my brother Alan on the space of just Black men and women communicating better and understanding one another better. And his interview made the top 10. It was recent, but go back and watch at We Need to Talk. His channel is phenomenal. He does a lot of work. Like I said, I probably wouldn't be in that hot seat myself, but understanding the mindset of different individuals, right? Maybe they may not represent all women, but it's very enlightening to watch. So big up my brother, We Need to Talk. Yes, fantastic show. Hit the like button, y'all. We're just going down memory lane, my top 10 shows based on views. And I want to big up all of y'all who have ever been on my platform, whether you've been a panelist, whether you have been a special guest, whether you have just randomly been in my chat, whether you have hit the like button one time for the one time, whether you have contributed to my Cash App. Thank you so much, folks. Sometimes I don't even see it until after the show and I don't get to call you out. Shout out to Tracy for sponsoring. I think it was like maybe 2 shows ago. Appreciate all those who have supported some way, shape, or form. This work is not easy, and it is work. I look again how much hours a week I'm spending on this. I'm like, am I getting a return on this, God? I feel like it's a calling, it's a movement. But it's been you that helped me stick to it, to see that, okay, you guys are interested in what I'm interested in as well, what I'm talking about. So I really do appreciate every bit of support you have offered. Even shout out to the haters, a couple of y'all. But for the most part, overwhelmingly, I've been highly supported here. And I'm really grateful. Really, 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 really grateful for that. Again, my Patreon community, thank you so much. I started a Patreon December of last year. And some of y'all have been rocking with me since I set it up. And I really appreciate, again, we're looking for big numbers, but it's not. It's the core who support you. It's the core, that keep you grounded, right? And help you move forward. So again, my 1-year anniversary, celebrate tonight. I guess it's the same month officially. I didn't want it to go without being recognized. So I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Shout out to Sandy B. Law. Sister, you made the top 10, right? All my Kevin Samuel shows, unfortunately, when he passed, rest in peace, rest in power. I did a series of shows, about 3, and it was great. And again, the rumor, let me get to the list because I'm gonna start talking about them. Shout out to, and this is in no particular order, this is like 1,000 views or more, the strongest shows I've had so far. You guys remember, shout out to Tobias the Traveler. Tell him, Quincy, he made the top 10. I think he's 1,000 plus on this show. How to Become a High Value Man was a very interesting conversation with Tobias, and I really want to thank him that for giving me his time and his perspective. It was really interesting. If you did not watch that show, go back and look at what my brother Tobias had to say. Red Pill Hustle was one of my Patreon members as well. And I think a lot of the Red Pill shows do well on YouTube in general, but he was really good. He introduced me again to some of the basic Red Pill content and why and how Red Pill gentlemen think the way they do. I really thank him for kind of being one of my elementary school, let's call it, teachers when it came to the space and understanding what that label meant. For being a supporter for so long. I really, really, really appreciate you, Red Pill Hustle. And that show did very well. Should Men Be Red Pill was very interesting. I appreciate you, Nutrition Lawyer, in the building. We did a phenomenal show, girl. I could have put it in the top 10, but it was a phenomenal show. Go back and watch. Again, I had so many great, wonderful, exciting, educational guests that when I was like, okay, I'm going to do a top 10, I'm like, I have to go by numbers. Can't go by personal preference, excuse me. Because if I do, I'm gonna leave some good ones out, and I'd be here with like 50 slides because I have over 100 shows in my Suzette Speaks live streams. Excuse me, still got a little New Orleans in my throat. Sounding a little rough trying to do the ginger tea, but you got to keep going. The show must go on. But thank you, sis. Check out, excuse me, nutrition. Lord, I should have brought a lozenge. Sorry, let me try the cold water. Cat in my throat, guys. Sorry, this is live, but this happens. Shout out to my sister. I really appreciate you. You did find me through TLA as well. Glad. I mean, again, he opened the door. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. One of my day ones. Thank you also came by way of TLA, if I'm not mistaken. New York in the building. Thank you so much for being here to help me celebrate tonight. Listen, Quincy, everybody they say if you got no haters, you ain't popping. People try all kinds of, sometimes it's not haters, it's more like comments underneath shows, and I'm like, ooh, don't take it personal, that's how they feel. But overall, like, yeah, I've had even on that We Need to Talk show, I left a couple comments on there. I was like, bro, were we watching the same show? It's really interesting how people perceive you or perceive maybe your gender, etc. And you cannot internalize it. You just got to let them speak their truth, their perspective, and move on. But yeah, you got some interesting comments below certain shows. Even the TLA show, the comment section, I was like, what in the world? That's why I was like, maybe I shouldn't read the comments. Sandy B, did I put up your super chat? Let me make sure I do. I don't want to skip it. Sandy B Law did a fantastic show with me, especially during the time. Yes, I see you, 305 party. Let's go. Oh, wait, the 5. It's 305 party. Let's go. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Much blessings. I appreciate you, sis. You've done several shows with me. Sandy B Law has her own couple of channels. Learn Biz, the podcast, Sandy B Law, and then we just did one on her book release. Girl, how'd the book go? Civility. It was called Civility. Thank you, Sandy B. Put the full title in there in the chat for me, girl. But yeah, we've done some great work, and I meant to send you an introduction to Miss Linda. Miss Linda, if you're watching, I did not forget. My email is full. I'm gonna have to introduce you to Miss Sandy B on Instagram because my email is full. But Sandy B Law, let me put up your show that made the top 10, girl. Your show that made the top 10 was in the Kevin Samuels series. This one right here, girl, top 10, thousands of views. I don't know how many, but what happens to Kevin Samuels' digital assets? Sandy B in real life was a fellow Miami attorney who does estate and probate law. So she added her girl did research and came with a slideshow, okay? And we did what happens and talked about YouTubers and those of us with other digital assets. Girl, now I got to be reminded. I started the process. Who would have access? I started my process, Sandy, and I have not completed it. And that's a shame on me. As I'm thinking about it, let me put that on my to-do list. I'll put that on my to-do list. Sandy B, you talked about not only bank accounts and things like this, and we were talking about children of his, and things like that. And you did a great job, sis. This was a really, thorough look at digital assets, in addition to what specifically might happen to the wealth of assets Mr. Samuels has even now collecting money. So great work. I always love working with you, sis. And we just got to hang out in general. We got to make that happen pretty soon. Especially there's some good reggae parties that come up in Miami in the Thanksgiving weekend, Christmas time. So girl, I'll definitely let you know if I'm out in these streets. And maybe you might want to Basel with me. Go to Art Basel with me, girl. I'll be at an event. Maybe you want to Art Basel. Let me know, Sandy. Offline, we'll touch base. But shout out to my dog, my girl, my homie, my fellow YouTuber, fellow lady lawyer. I'm proud of you as well on your journey. And thank you for showing love all the time, right? Sandy B Law on the super chat, 305 in the building. I appreciate you, sis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for the wonderful work you do and time you donate to my channel when I give you hard topics. So Sandy B Law was in the top 10. We talking about the best of SuzetteSpeaks Show edition. It's a 1-year anniversary show. Thank you, everybody who's showing love. Appreciate if you want to support the stream on CashAPP, you can do so. $ SuzetteSpeaks. Ain't too proud to ask. But yes, so many of you guys give in other ways. Shout out to people that email me topic ideas. Shout out to people who write me just feedback in general. Okay. And I appreciate you. Thank you, people like Doug that have introduced me to in other YouTubers that I didn't know. I'm big here on trying to expand my circle. I think we're in a tight knit circle right now, but I think there's millions of people, right? So the folks who suggest other YouTubers, did you see this person? Have you ever heard of that person? Thank y'all, right? It's hard to book people. I spend a lot of time and energy in my week thinking about who's coming up, when am I going to get them, coordinating the booking and making the thumbnail. Yes, these thumbnails that you see tonight, I made them. There's a lot of time invested here. And like I said, when we think of return, sometimes we think of it only in monetary or in subs, but I've gotten a lot of satisfaction, believe it or not, from doing the work. So I hope it continues to be satisfaction, right? Satisfactory. And I hope I feel the same sense of drive as I move forward past my 1 year mark. But I'm celebrating, y'all. Anytime you can celebrate those small wins, do it. And that's what we're doing tonight. Just a top 10 review for my newbies, for my oldies, for my folks. We're at Red Pill Hustle. I'm going to drop the link. I'm not going to stay up here long. Y'all hear my voice. And the ginger tea not killing it. It's burning my throat more than helping it. But I appreciate you guys who've been along. Let's go down the memory lane. Oh, DL. The Truth About Hypergamy, popular show. DL has done several popular shows. Why? Maybe because his topics are red pillish. And it's just a really interesting stuff. And I never really heard the word hypergamy as much. I've heard it before, but not as much as I've had the experience here on YouTube. And this show, my goodness, The Truth About Hypergamy. DL, you was doing work, brother. You was doing work on this show. He's in my top 10 a couple times because our collabs just take off and it's just amazing. Yes, you need clips. You gotta, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm on the channel itself. I'll clip up some of these, the small highlighted wonderful ways in which they were memorable. Then I can put a link below to the actual shows. I have over 100 shows in the SuzetteSpeaks show live stream playlist. The catalog is deep. So I kept looking back. I'm like, oh my God. The people who just joined me don't know about all this good work I've already done. In truth, I don't really have to do another live show. I could go a year with what I have now, cutting it up in about 10 minutes, 15, even 20 minutes on the shows I have on them. I could stand on them right now. I tell you that the work has been consistent and good. I look back, I was like, yo, I could just cut up all my shows because people really haven't watched every single show and just give you back some wonderful, what should I say, bite-sized snack clips of some good content. And I thought, oh my God, I need somebody to help me do it. But truth be told, I really don't have to do another live show if I didn't choose to. I'd have enough content based on the hours of wonderful material that has already been, thank God, brought to life, put together since last year this time. Thank y'all. I look back at it and I'm like, when I was just trying to pick the top 10 based on viewership, I couldn't even do it because I have more than 1,000 on many shows. Y'all remember this? Are the Rumors True? This was a phenomenal show the night we were getting news of the unfortunate passing of the legendary YouTube legend, Mr. Samuels. It was DL. It was, who else was on there? Was Kanardak on there with me? I get goosebumps thinking about that show. That show was literally felt like breaking news. Heartfelt, genuine, just rocked the manosphere, honestly. It rocked the world. And we was talking about it as it was happening on the SuzetteSpeaks show. It was very powerful. I didn't, again, some things you cannot plan, y'all. You just do it. I was like, this is something that's interesting to me. Let's talk about it. And the people that came through the comment section on that show, fire. Happy birthday. Thank you, Andrew. Fire. You can't lightning, sometimes you catch it in a bottle. You can't do it. You can't plan certain things. Certain things just come together. And that was one of the shows I'm really proud of. Are the Rumors Really True? It was really sad. Big respect to you, my brother Links. I didn't put your thumbnail in my faves, and the top 10 is only based on viewers. And I think you have God Found My Wife was almost 1,000, and a couple others of your clips. Go back and watch God Found My Wife. Super show. Shout out to my brother. I would say brethren and brother together. My brother Links for sharing his story, showing you that love is not always a straight line of romance and perfectness, right? Love is not perfection. Love can be ugly and sometimes darn near torturous, I guess. Because we were like, Links, when are you going to get back to her? Right? He was out there doing his thing, but they found each other yet again. It's a beautiful show. Hopefully, again, it will inspire, it will enlighten, it will encourage somebody. I really, 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 really appreciate that. Yes, the red pill shows brought the manosphere to my channel. Is that what happened? Thank you. A lot of it. Thank you, Vondell. Vondell, shout out to you. I started watching a couple of your shows. Vondell has a channel now, you guys. I just haven't commented below your shows yet. But congratulations on your channel, Vondell. And I saw you talk about living with a disability or learning disability and what it's like. And I started to watch them. I just haven't gone back. I wanted to completely watch it, and I can leave a comment, an authentic, viewpoint on what you share. But shout out to you for sharing your journey. Again, this place on YouTube, again, it might not be the gossip channel, y'all, but maybe it'll help somebody in a way, right? Even if we do talk about current events. That's always been the core, and I hope I can maintain that. I really do. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Doug says, my number one favorite SuzetteSpeaks stream is when she left the stream running when the show was over. That should be in my top 10. Lord God, the show was over, and I didn't press end broadcast. Only the real SuzetteSpeaks fans. I'm not going to even tell you what show that was. Doug, most frightening day of my life. It could have been the worst day of my life. I sat in front of my camera, reading my text, reading my email, the stream. I said, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and the stream is still open. Doug, that was like the longest, was it like 2-3 minutes of my life? And I look up at the stream, and I'm like reading, and I look up, and I'm like, it says, 30-something still watching. Why are people still watching? That one, I should clip that. I should put that on one of the clips and highlight it. That one was an amazing, like, my God, you are my strength. I didn't say anything crazy, y'all. Usually, I told people when I finish a stream, I will undress. If I have on a skirt, I'm bloops. And I'm like, thank you, God. I sat there and I was reading my email. Don't make me go back there. Ebony says, Suzette, I was introduced to you from TLA. I remember when you were tripping. Well, no, when they were trying to hook you and him up. Listen, TLA, like them young gals. Thank you. That was a good series, a good season. I had to jump for a second. Oh, no, thank you so much. Appreciate that. The last good man in Jersey. Thanks for being a part of my panels and always coming and showing love. Wow, Gaston, means a lot coming from you, my brother. Very proud of how far you come. Good job. Thank you. Means a lot. World class in the building. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Whew. So many wonderful memories. Let me see. I haven't seen so many Black women lawyers in one place since I left ATL. Let's go. And listen, Black women lawyers, I'm like, nutrition lawyer, Sandy B. We doing something, y'all. What's it called? Bross attorney Bree. Shout out to her. And I think we're pioneering. By the time they figure this out, y'all, we gonna be ahead of the game. I appreciate and I respect all my fellow content creators in general. But I have a special place for my lady lawyers. It's not easy. We got jobs. We gotta be working and doing this. 1 year, the Rick Slinger. Thank you. You've been so wonderful coming up on my panels. Appreciate you. Oh my goodness, I got some super chats. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm sorry. I see so many. Let me not skip over nobody. I'm over here reading. Let me pay attention, Sue. Pay attention. Thank you again for the love in the chat. Thank you for those watching Team Replay. Hit like. Just I'm grateful. It's been a long year, and through post-pandemic, coming back to life, people are not as, thank you, Savannah Aria, appreciate that. Yeah, people are not as intense on their YouTube watching as it was during the pandemic, so that changes. But you got to keep the faith and keep pushing. But I really appreciate all of y'all. Thank you. I'm gonna be lost in this chat in a second. Let me find a couple of DL, my brother. DL, let me put up the next 2 shows that we killed it on. Thank you for saying this. You display true leadership, Suzette. Keep leading from the front. Says, thank you for saying that. It means a lot. Coming from you. I'm not going to get emotional. I'm going to stick to the script. Other big shows DL was a part of. First of all, since we're talking about Kevin Samuels, if you didn't go to I'm going to say I'm the first that did a show on Who Got Next. Just saying. Pioneer. Let's talk about leadership. That was a great show too. Who Got Next? It wasn't meant to be disrespectful, and I'm glad it came across with the intention of talking about those big shoes that Kevin Samuels left, right? And we had a very thoughtful conversation about it. It was a great stream. I think that one, because it was so close to his passing, maybe like a weekish after, was a good show. It was a really good show. Mentioned a lot of great people who are not on the thumbnail, thank you, but we did work. We did work. Let me get DL's other 2 top 10, going through the top 10, showing love. DL, you had, this was a killer, over 2,000 some views. Is marriage dead? If you really want some great perspective on why you should or should not, if you're not ready, be married. This was a great show, DL. Is marriage dead and who killed it? Was a great show. Again, I got a catalog now because of y'all. All my guests, everyone who's been on the panel, everyone who's been a part of it. Like, yeah. This was a great show. Go back and watch it. I'm not going to go into detail. DL was doing work. And DL, you even have a third highly watched show, The Case Against Andrew Tate. Very popular show on my channel. I was introduced to Andrew Tate, I think through you, DL. Didn't really pay attention to a lot of, I don't know if you call him red pill or people who were admired by the red pill community. I wasn't familiar with his work, his career. You schooled us. You did a great job kind of taking us back from his early years to what he was really saying to men, and then he got canceled. So we talked about that at length. It was a really great show. Really great show. Thanks to DL, my special co-host and guest. But you always, whenever I need you, I'm like, DL, let's do a show. He's like, yes. And I appreciate that on a dime for your insights, encouragement. When we get to talk offline, it's great, again, to have people who are like on the same path as you and have a genuine intention for your success. And I feel that, brother. And I really, really respect that. Go subscribe to his channel as well. He's doing a lot of work. I think almost monetized. I'm really proud of you, sir. That first 1,000 is hard. And the watch hour is 4,000. You feel like you're never going to get there, but you're going to do it. And again, I really appreciate you being a part of this community and also lending your voice to so many of my top 10 shows and schooling us from your life experience and your experience here on YouTube within the spaces that you kind of float. And it was great. So go back and watch The Case Against Andrew Tate about his cancellation. I'm surprised YouTube didn't take it down. We talked about that. DL was like, they probably going to take down your show. I think because I'm a female. I really do. They took down a lot of Andrew Tate content. That one has remained. I don't know. Maybe because you were so good on it. Yeah, but thank you, brother, for the love on the big 50 on the super chat. Thank you so, so very much. Roslyn, thank you. She says, happy anniversary. You were one of my favorites. Reviewed your channel last. Really? Warms my heart. Warms my heart. Again, I've come a long way. Some of y'all who just got here, it's okay. But I want you to visit the catalog, 100 plus. I'm over 100 live streams. And I think about that sometimes. I'm like, man, do people know? Again, streams like this one, are your standards keeping you single. Harrison Family Values. He did a great one yesterday, but he used that 1,000 plus on this stream. Very insightful. Like I said, ladies, I don't give the word in this platform because I've not heard a lot of these perspectives. Oftentimes, this is the first time I'm hearing them. So I feel like the student. I'm sitting there like, bruh, okay. That's what a brother would think. Really? And I think this was what my trainer said to me. He was like, Sue, you know why these guys watch you? My trainer says, because you giving them game on how women think. And I was like, you think so? Never really thought of it. Y'all let me know if that's what's going on here. But he's like, no, women like you, they may not have access to. His opinion. And just how you think, see whatever situations, it helps them to understand. Tell me if that's true. And I was like, you think that's what it is? I didn't know. I don't know if that's true. But that's what he was like, you giving them game. I was like, why do we gotta call it game? Why can't it be, again, my truth? Again, other people may have different truths. But I think this is a beautiful platform where the exchange at least is attempting to happen. It's happening. I'm going to say attempting. It's happening. So I think that is hopefully allowing us to hear one another instead of like, creating more of a divide between Black men and Black women. So I hope that's happening. Thank you, Rosalind, for the gift. I really appreciate you. All right. Yes. Links was very inspiring. I got to speed up a little bit. I'm a little bit behind. Links was very inspiring. God Find My Wife, God Find My Husband were two great shows, two amazing shows. It's been a year, y'all. We're doing the top 10, 1,000 views or more shows. Started with TLA, I think. And then just trying to make my own name. I was like, TLA, I can't be talking about relationships. You know, I ain't got none. So how can I talk about it? Really, really uncomfortable area, subject matter for me to cover. But, it led to some great things. But I had some other things going on, y'all. I had some deep conversations with a lot of women initially. I'm talking about last November, last December, up to like, I would say about January, February, there was 2 shows. I did Black Men Speak. Amazing. That's in the top 10. Black Men Speak did very well. We're at a big panel. I invited a bunch of brothers before the billions, one of my faves, kosher clinicians. Several people were on that show. Gaston's World. It was a show about leadership, Black men in leadership. It was great. That's also, I think I have that thumbnail. But I did a lot of women's issues initially because that was my home base. That was my comfort zone based on events I had been planning in real life. I had been planning women's conferences, women's seminars. I had been a guest speaker. I can't even tell you how many times I've keynoted conferences and things like this for women, by women. So this has been almost like a whoo, what in the world, Lord? I know how to talk to women. I'm great with women because I know what they're going through. And so this, again, has been life-changing for me because I've really never had males' perspectives like so, like I say, accessible and direct that I've had here. And this is open. I was like, Lord, what's going on in my life? Did I not know men? Maybe I didn't. I learned men through other women. Here, there is no filter. So that's a good and a bad thing. Show sponsor. Wait a minute. Nutrition lawyer. Whoa, let me get it. Yes, Mel King did that one. What, left the stream on? Yes, this was an amazing show. Ebony, don't make me cry. This got me. That was one of the times I felt I was going to. Gaston's World, remember that? I felt like I was like, I ain't cut out for YouTube. I'm finna stop this YouTube. And I got, what show was that? I think it was on the Wealth Engineering show. Shout out to Wealth Engineering. One of my brothers who, again, was one of the first on my Patreon. Wealth Engineering, we did a show, and to where I don't know what the subject was. I can't remember what the show was about, but towards the end of the show, shout out to JB, shout out to Friendsgiving, shout out to Wealth Engineering. It was amazing. I almost cried. The super chats was like, it just overwhelmed me. It allowed me to get my new light. It allowed me to get some of the background y'all got me. That was an amazing blessing. And thank you to everybody that was a part of that. That's a very good memory. I forgot about that, Ebony. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. Yeah, a lot of mercy. Oh, Lord. It's a lot going on. Good evening, CBN Tech Talks. Happy 1 year. Thank you. Doug says, I have 2 other ladies. Oh, I like to say in your network as well as Sandy B and the others. Okay, Shabazz Esquire and Empowered Esquire TV. Let's go. Let me know. Doug always be knowing who's going on YouTube. I would love to collab. You know it, Doug. Send me an email or whatever. Let me know. Let me know. Thank you, Doug. Yes. Is that mainstream? Yeah. Is Marriage Dead was a cover title so that he could be red pilling me all day. Okay, so I introduced you to DL's channel. Shout out to everybody who found DL as well through this platform. That's what it's all about. You never know who you're gonna like. You never know who you're gonna end up, clicking with. Listen, this was a great show. I couldn't find the thumbnail, but he should be in the top 10. Pocket Watching with JT's show. Are you recession ready? It's still applicable even now. Shout out to Pocket Watching with JT for showing me love. As soon as I asked him to be on the show, he didn't even hesitate. And it's one of my top 10 viewed shows. So Pocket Watching with JT should be in there. Thank you, Ace Butterfly, for reminding me. Let's see. Doug says, Suzette, I don't think you're giving game, but you do bring a positive and different flavor to Black. Okay, I was like, the Blurred stream was amazing. It hasn't gotten 1,000 views yet. Black nerds, where are you? The Blurred, the Secret Lives of Blurreds was amazing. Shout out to oh my God, Secret Lives of Blurred was with the podcast gentleman. I'm looking at his face. Let me go to my DM. Was amazing. Oh man, Secret Lives of Blurs. I forget my special guest. I'm looking at his face. Oh my God, please forgive me. Was a great show. Yeah, the Secret Lives of Blurred was amazing. Now I have to look and maybe get his name right. Oh my God. I'm having a brain fart. Don't be mad at me. But he has a podcast too. Actually, let me just go to Instagram. That might be an easier way to find it. But that was an amazing show. Thank you so much, Dr. Thunder. Again, an early supporter. Had him on my Patreon and doing work. Like, thank you for donating your time, helping me build. And congrats on your channel too. Your show is amazing. Sometimes I don't even like say anything in the chat, Dr. Thunder, but I listen when you're in your morning drive or getting in your car. Your commentary was so interesting. God, I can't remember this gentleman's name. I gotta think about the Blurred show. Sorry. Let me get his name right. I don't want to be that person. The Pretty Privileged show. I'm looking back at my thumbnails, bro. Pretty Privileged. Aiko Giamian, thank you. Dealing with Stress was Better Gens podcast. There we go. Better Gens. Sorry, Better Gens. I knew it. But thank you so much. Shout out to 3E32 on the anniversary CashAPP. Thank you so much. 3E32 saying happy anniversary on your show. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you. For showing love on the CashAPP. But Dr. Thunder, thank you for being one of my early. Look at that. Thanks, Doc. I was telling them about the show you talked about. It was rough to listen to, but I was digesting it. The show you just did on Vote. The video, I think it was Saucy Santana and Trina did a video on No Vote, No Cookie. Like, that was the video. Your analysis of that was very interesting. It was really interesting. I listened to it and I digested that. Didn't chime in because I'm like, I didn't see the video at that time. I went back and watched the video after watching you talk about it. Your analysis was very interesting, sir. So even though I may be kind of like ninja watching every now and then, know that I am a cheerleader for your success as well on this platform. Thank you, Dr. Thunder. Yes. Let me keep going. Yeah. I'm not gonna cry. No, I was getting my makeup. I'm like, woo, get your emotions in check. I'm trying to find my sister, nutrition lawyer, on the big super chat. Nutrition lawyer, girl. Why can't? What did I need? I need to find. Let me. Thank you. Did I skip it? I'm trying to roll through. I saw Dr. Thunders. How could I miss the sponsoring super chat from my newly minted sister in the space. Thank you. Nutrition Lawyer says, huge congratulations on your 1 year anniversary. From my sister, from a fellow Jamaican, also now a YouTuber. Amazing channel. Got me thinking about keto in a whole different way. Girl, you saved me in New Orleans. I was looking at the breads. I was looking at the rice. I was looking at the grapes and the mac and cheese. And I was like, okay, you can have a bite, but you're not going to kill yourself slapping up all this food. And honestly, I kind of held it down. I felt good. I didn't feel like I went to New Orleans and just went crazy, because of course you're walking a lot. We were pretty active. We did like a riverboat, paddle boat excursion. We did a lot. We walked a lot. However, I didn't want to go there and blow my diet. So I had all the wonderful tips. Go back and watch the show. Black women reclaiming our health, with Nutrition Lawyer as my special guest. The tips she gave, the testimony she gave about her own overactive thyroid and feeling a lump. And I actually just saw another, well, she's a radio host down here in Miami. She just posted that she has a lump in her throat. And I was like, I might as well send her our stream, because they're biopsying her lump. I don't think they biopsied yours, but I was looking at her and I was like, I hope she is it rude to DM somebody a show and be like, hey girl, saw what you went through. Maybe it'd be a blessing that she could look at helping herself through her diet. I actually might send her the show. And shout out to, and I can say her name because she put it on Instagram, Shelby Russian, one of my big sisters in this media game. And shout out to her and praise to her for posting her story. It's on Instagram, just saw it earlier, and that made me think of our show, Nutrition Lawyer, and how you literally change your life through your diet over the last few years. She gives wonderful tips. Y'all go subscribe. And I like the fact that, again, it's firsthand what has worked for her. So again, you kept me focused, sis. I was not going crazy over the beignets. I did have a beignet. Okay, I did have to have one. Okay, I had Cafe Beignet and I had Cafe du Monde, but I didn't have any Loretta's. And then my friends came back because I was tired from the night before. And I'm like, guys, you cannot wake me up this morning early to go get beignets. Like, I should have given her, just told her to bring me back one. But the third one that I didn't try ended up being the best beignet. And then I thought, Nutrition Lawyer, I thought, you know what? It's actually probably good, because I probably would have ate about 4 or 5 a day. Lord of mercy. I said to myself, well, God, I didn't eat off all the beignets. I sampled them with the powdered sugar all over my mouth and in my dress. I have one beignet. Powdered sugar was all over my purse. I was like, okay, great. Now I have ants in my purse. I had to come home and wipe it off with like alcohol, like a little soap and dry cloth. I was like, what is going on? But those were some wonderful memories. And I thank you, sis, for reaching out first and foremost. And was like, hey, I got a new channel. I'm like, hey, can you want to be on mine? And coming through just a couple weeks ago, Black women taking back our health, Black women reclaiming our health. Sis, on the generous, can't even, I'm tongue-tied, super chat. I am so grateful. Oh my goodness. Y'all blessing me to the top. Praise God. I appreciate you, sis. Big up yourself. And y'all go check out her channel for sure, with deepest gratitude. Thank you. Oh yeah. Let me get, I don't know where to go from here. Let me get, let me go to the rest of the top 10. How about that? We're celebrating my 1 year anniversary again. Big up everybody on the CashAPP gifts. And everybody on the super chat, thank you. Looking back at where we've come from, as I told y'all, the catalog runs deep. And I just want y'all to go back, especially if you just got here. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Welcome. But I'm saying there's so much good work I did. Looking back, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be real. This show right here, shout out to Abigail Cousins, author, who came on talking about how she survived sexual abuse. Again, I'm shocked that we weren't being extra graphic, but it's a tough subject matter. And she's written 2 books about it, the coming through and then like the Renaissance. And this stream right here, how I survived sexual abuse, touched me. Her testimony, her story, and who she is today. And she's a YouTube content creator now too. Shout out to Abigail if you're watching. It was just very eye-opening when it comes to why and how children become vulnerable to abusers. She was very courageous. She was very brave. Clearly, she's conquered a lot of the fear, self-hatred, oftentimes shame and rejection that people feel. I'm sure she still deals with it in her life from time to time. She's married. She's ministering. And I'm like, you still believe in God? Like, I don't mean to laugh, but in my heart, I was like, who would survive such horrific circumstances, violations, and still have faith, right? And this was one of the most powerful shows. It's also in my top 10. Shout out to Abigail Cousins for being a part of my journey, sis. And I wish you the very best if you're watching. Oh my goodness, on the super chat. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. My goodness. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. This 1 year. Thank you, RM. Faithful, encouraging, always here. Sunbreeze, I know you're probably working, but thank you as well. All my moderators. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, let me catch up on this chat because I see more love. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Yeah. Y'all leave Dr. Thunder in his car streams. I just feel like, Dr. Thunder, you can answer that yourself. Ace, you want the smoke, huh? Ace talking about, why does Dr. Thunder do streams in his car? Is he afraid his wife will hear his proselytizing about the manosphere? I do not think so. I just think that's when you're free. He has kids too. So if you ever have like a very loud house, busy with kids and stuff, you don't have space to like just go live without people interrupting you. I mean, I'm even a part of like a class on Mondays. And that's why I switched on my time. I'm in a branding class where like people's kids, you can see them on the Zoom all the time. They're like, get out, get out. So I know there can be many challenges with being in a, quiet place and getting your sound right and all that. But yes, Dr. Thunder in his car, I still listen because, hey, Mike, nice to have you. Thanks for coming over and showing love. Yes, I should travel. No, I'm so Jamaican. Let me tell you what I did. They was laughing at me. I did travel with my snacks, ASB. You know what kind of snacks I travel with? This is so, should I tell y'all? I travel with my peanut, with my mixed nuts, my pistachio. And do you know what I also brought to New Orleans? And I ended up bringing back, only ate one can of it. And I brought back the other ones. This is so island. Tin sardine. I brought tins. I was like, if I get hungry and these girls is about, going out and drinking and whatever, and I don't want to eat the pizza late and I don't want to eat this late, I'm going to have my sardines with me as backup, good, nutritious food. And I'm going to have it. It wasn't until the last day and I was like, oh my gosh, my bag is about to be overweight, my check bag. And I was like, can I put the sardines in my handbag? I was asking, I was asking my homegirl, I'm like, can I put sardines in my, I literally had to Google, can I put sardines in my check bag, in my handbag? And I ended up putting it in my check bag and I wasn't over the amount. And then funny enough, in the line and in security, another guy was there, an Aussie, older white guy, was there with sardines in his hand luggage. And I was like, see, he's bringing hand luggage. And it was more than the 3 ounce. And he had to have a talk with the person, the TSA agent. And they were like, well, it's 4 ounces, and he's like, I can't get this anywhere else. I only can get it in New Orleans. Please, it's great. It's the best food on earth. Sardines are the best thing for you. So they let him bring it in. So I was like, oh, maybe they would have let me. I don't know if they would have let me let through 2 sardine people, but I did witness that. DL on the super chat. DL on the super chat. Thank you, DL. Thank you, DL. Thank you, DL. On the super chat. Thank you. Grateful doesn't even explain. Thank you. Don't do that. Thank you. 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 I don't even know what to say. Because the shows would be enough. I appreciate you coming through and helping me, make magic when it comes to these show topics, stuff that you know way more about than I do. And the shows just have been fire, and people like the shows, and we have great chemistry, and I think we are a good balance of perspectives when you come over. But I appreciate you in so many ways, DL. Thank you. And I think you got your wish. Says I can't be outdone. You taking the fashion fit super chats now. Don't worry, they won't miss it. LOL. DL Saint, y'all. My nose already stuffed up. Don't make me come out here snotting. It wouldn't bring no tissue with me to sit down with. Thank you, DL Saint. Always, thank you. Supportive. Thank you. You made it 3 times, as I stated. The case against Andrew Tate when he was canceled. Is marriage dead? And who killed it? Great show. And I think you had one more. That was Amazeballs. I should give you credit for this one too, because you helped me a lot during the Are the Rumors True when Kevin Samuels passed, because we were literally reading CNN, Essence, who was confirming it, who wasn't confirming it. That was like real journalism, DL Saint. Thank you. And then your hypergamy show. That was our first magic in the bottle. You teaching me a lot more than I knew about this principle. So I'm grateful, brother. I'm really grateful. I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me fresh and fit. Don't tell them boys. Don't tell them boys. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. Again, sometimes you meet good people in this space. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to meet. But so far, brother, you got me. You good. Appreciate you, DL Saint on the super. Collect myself chat. Always. Again, great shows. His channel also very thoughtful. He has wide interests just like me. He thinks about other things other than, relationships. We talk about it here, but I don't always want it to be the central focus of my channel. I could dabble in it, right? But just interesting things. Like I said, I was trying to find an expert tonight. Good thing I didn't book one, who knew about what was going on the ground in Haiti. So my prayers to the Haitian people. Madness going on right now. And so, like, again, when I pay attention, I'm always like, also on the super chats, God, on the CashAPP. Thank you, guys. I don't want to get my ugly face. Thank you, guys. Then shout out to Bernard. Shout out to Donald. I might need to get some tissue. I can't even. I didn't bring no tissue over here. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I already stuffed up a can butter with it. Where is my tissue? Sorry, I got a piece though. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, DL. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Shout out on the CashAPP. I messed up my makeup now. What's going on, bro? I messed up my makeup. Again, brothers on the CashAPP. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you, Donald L. Thank you, Bernard S. Grateful. Thank you. I don't look cute when I'm DL is sponsoring for sure. I don't look cute when I be out here. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. Thank you guys for the support over this past year. Yes, you did. You know, I punched the air, DL. You know, I punched the air. I'll drop the link. That actually might be actually a good moment for this. Thank you. Thank you guys. 1 year. 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. I'm amazed. I'm grateful through, you know, the ups and downs, challenges, moments of like, oh my gosh, this is too much. Woo! Let me drop the link. Thank you guys. I'm trying not to make too much loud noises. Thank you, DL. I appreciate you. Oh my. My sister, Miss Glove Girl, keep me smiling always during the conversations with her very quick wit and her timely commentary. Thank you. I brought my sardines with me for health benefits and to stay on track with my diet, but I appreciate my sister, the Miss Globe Girl, on the super chat talking about for your tin sardine. Sis, thanks for cheering me up, boo. Thank you very much. Thank you for always being here, offering some wonderful perspectives, challenging in the chat. I love it. Challenging some of the ideas that are shared. And of course, again, being a part of my robust speaker community here. And I appreciate this generous gift. Oh my gosh. I'm like yelling. Sis, I appreciate you. I always see you. Thank you. Passing through or staying through the whole thing. Thank you. Sometimes, you know, little stuff. You don't want to be on here talking to yourself. So it is a joy. Again, it's amazing that, again, people you have never, ever met have like, you think you know, because at least, you know, I give you a little hints of their perspectives and a little hint of, you know, where they're coming from, how they were raised, or, you know, just things we drop in the chat or whatever, and things that I drop here. You know, I think we could hang out, Miss Globe Girl, honestly. We have a lot in common, seemingly. But overall, I just want to say a huge thank you, sister. Thank you. Your presence is enough. But this type of gift, girl, y'all gonna make me fall out. I see you in the back, DL. Thank you. I see you in the back, Vondell. I'm gonna bring y'all up just a second. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I will buy a couple tuna. Y'all going to make me buy 2 sardine tin for the next trip. Don't be hating. Them all these canned sardines can be, I know some people island style. I don't know. Do Americans island style where you can open a can of sardines, little peppers, you know, bell peppers, little onion, and a nice cook up with little pepper. Your sardines are fire. These sardines that I have found at Aldi, sis, they have them in mango pepper. There's like 4 different, no, maybe 2 flavors. Maybe 2 I've seen. Sorry, not 4. But I bought 4 cans. But it can be eaten out the tin. I normally wouldn't do that, just pop it and eat it. But that last, okay, sidebar, not too long, bringing up my brothers. I ate at Turkey and the Wolf in New Orleans as my last food. And I am so disappointed that was my last taste of this beautiful city. I should have known by who was in the kitchen. Turkey and the Wolf was featured on like magazines and I think like, I don't know, Top Chef. I don't know what these shows are. The food is not necessarily made for our palate. Let me just put it like that. If you like food that's acidic and bitter, that use flavors such as dill and tarragon, and like, I don't know what else they put on, but it was not. So I had to eat my sardine. My one sardine I did eat, sis, after I went for that. No disrespect. Shout out to everybody who got a business, and I'm trying not to be like terrible, but I just did not enjoy the collard green sub or whatever else was served. It was not to my taste buds. But Miss AKA Lady on the super chat. Thank you, sis. DL put a bet that you would cry paying up. Sis, you're one of my stalwart, biggest, supporters since we've met, since we've connected. I forget what show it was. But I see you. I appreciate you just being there, being around, helping, like I say, build this community. Your presence has made this a joy. And I'm really grateful to have you. And I'm really grateful. She went as far as it came and met me at my brunch. That was huge. And so connecting the person with the handle has been amazing as well. And I'm grateful to have you. Thank you for your real support, fervent support of me and my content. I'm really grateful. Really grateful. Shout out to you, sis. Let me bring up my brothers. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe I'm gonna have to skip out DL because I don't know if I can take this. Shout out to
DL. I already said, but that sardine thing though, sis, for real, that sardine thing, I got something for you.
Oh, that's nasty.
Sardines are one of the most nutritious food on the earth. What you mean?
Maybe out the ocean, but not out that tin, girl. What's wrong with you?
No, I promise you the flavor is good. I promise you the flavor of this is like flavored mango, this and that. Shout out to Aldi. It's there. Remember, Aldi is I don't know if you know this, Dutch supermarket. So it's made in, Dutch. Deutsche something is the name of their store brand, but it's German. Sorry. Deutsche Noche or something like this.
It wouldn't be Noche, but definitely Deutsche.
Deutsche, that's Noche. Deutsche something. I'll look it up. But don't sleep on them sardines. They saved a life. My last night in New Orleans. TL, thank you. Thank you.
But you know what? This is what you really need.
That is exactly what I need.
That's what you need.
I'm going out because I wanted to dress up for my 1 year. Thank you again.
You got on your Jamaican colors now.
I got my listen, because I'm hosting like I told you, it's a reggae show. It's a reggae.
I need to be on that list. I'll be down there for our base. Don't play. I need to be on that list. No, I'm telling you right now. Put me on the list. I'll be there. Telling you right now.
Listen, Sandy B, let me know. Miss Globe Girl, I think is down here. So this is the dress. I bought it. I had to cut it. It was a little bit long, and I had to kind of fix the sides. So I was like, well, the ladies finished it today, so let me go pick it up. And then I was like, what am I wearing tonight? Like, I'm gonna try on this dress. So you may see it again.
You looking fierce, and I tell you this. This is be part of the celebration. Put me on the list, and anybody that's with you, whatever, we'll get a table, we'll get a bottle, we'll make a night of it. Whoever's with you.
Watch ballers.
Hey.
I gotta send a man the invoice, and I'll find out more details this weekend. I should know more details, but I'm really excited. It's gonna be a good look. Like I said, I'm a little, I don't know. I've been doing so much Zoom. I'm really excited about it. And I was like, cuz I'm getting a new dress. I need to,
Man, it's all right, Basil, too. I like getting fancy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Exactly. So I have a black long dress that I thought was gonna be the dress. And then I saw this and I was like, oh, it got the colors, boo. It's ready. We ready.
Don't play. I'll bring my tuxedo. Don't play. Don't let it be black tie. Don't let it be black tie now.
It's a roots reggae. It's a roots reggae celebration of art as well as music. So I'm really excited to be hosting it, and it's gonna be again a fantastic time. I got my makeup booked. I'm ready to go. Queen Regina, big up yourself. Vandal, let me bring you up, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, SuzetteSpeaks.
Nice to have you, and thank you for your generous gift and for always being a supporter. And congrats on your channel.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm seeing you. Do you have a favorite memory, or maybe one of your shows that you remember the most from the channel, or anything that really stuck with you?
What really stuck with me with one of your shows was when I first came on to the show, and with my mother. That was the
Yes.
first time when we first met. That was always the beginning. It was the first time, the first impression.
Awesome. And you're doing well on your channel now. Tell people about your channel. What you got going on now that you're a YouTuber?
What I'm going on is telling people being aware about unique abilities like NLD, nonverbal learning disability.
Wonderful. And I saw a few of your clips already. And congratulations on starting the channel. So
Oh,
I'll
thank
be
you.
over there. Like I said, I just haven't commented yet because I don't like to comment before I watch the whole thing. Sometimes I'm popping in, popping up. But keep doing your thing. I think it's going to be wonderful that you educate people about this. A lot of us in the Black community specifically, don't know a lot about, learning disabilities or different challenges that folks grow up with. And I think it's great that you can shed some light on that and help people understand what your experience in life is like. So real heavy stuff sometimes, but I think the way you talk about it is going to be very unique. So I appreciate you and congrats on that.
Thank you.
We gotta get you on my platform, Brother Vondale, for real. I
Oh,
love to have the conversation because I know nothing about it.
all right. Well, we'll set up a collaboration then, Mr. Saint.
Yes,
It's on, brother. It's on, brother.
And Miss Linda, I did not forget. I'm going to hook her up with Sandy B, but she better look on Instagram because my email, I got so much email. Every time I delete it, it get full. So I can't send any email right now. But her and Sandy B, I'm going to introduce you guys on Insta tomorrow. Okay.
Right.
So just tell her I didn't forget. And I'm going to set up a time where Miss Linda going to come on probably November. So I'm excited for you, Vondale. Keep up the great work and thank you for coming up.
Thank you for coming up, you two, and I'll tell Mom hello.
All righty.
And it's on about and DL. I'll be seeing you on that collab.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you. Suzette ain't gonna let me flake out. She gonna make me do it. So it's on, bro. Because the name of my podcast is I Really Want to Know, and I mean that's something I've never even thought about. So, and this is why I love this platform so much. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, we gonna make that happen.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Vondale. Thanks for popping in. Have a good night.
You're welcome.
All right. See you soon. All right. Big up, Vondale. I love it. DL, my 1 year, bro.
1 year.
I can't believe this.
Girl, look, you doing it. You doing it.
Again, thank you for your generous. Y'all gonna hear a sound machine now. Y'all. Let's go. Now we got improvements. Woo, child. Thank you for the blessing. I really do appreciate your generosity in spirit. Not only, again, financial is great, wonderful actually, but your spirit. You always are encouraging, and you always, because you have that media background. And shout out again to my brothers who have been so generous on the Cash App. Again, Bernard S, Donald L, 3E32. Thank you again. The support behind the scenes, sometimes people don't get to see, because sometimes the conversation, just talking someone off the ledge, can make a huge difference. Like, Dio, do you think this is gonna be and he's like, no, don't do that, sis. Do this. Just those simple, and it don't have to be long, it don't have to be deep, but just sometimes those simple perspectives can mean a lot. And then again, if you have a lot of friends that are not really into YouTube the way I am, I can't ask my cousins. I can't ask, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain people just not in the space. So for me to be like, I just booked, ooh, should I say it?
Hold on.
She hasn't given me a date.
Save it. What you get the date locked in? What you get the date locked in?
Okay, so I gotta have a date before I say.
And y'all, this is how it works. When we say we offline, this is what we're doing. Like, no, hold on. I mean, you think I'm giving up red pill, gems on the show? You should get off the show. I'm like, say that. I'm like, yo, what you say? Sis? Run that by me one more time.
Exactly. Thank y'all. Hit the like button. Sandy B, I'm serious, girl. They're gonna put up the flyer soon. So as soon as I get information, I'll let you know. But I would love to hang out with you because we haven't really hung out like that.
I'm not lying about that table. I'm not lying. I know.
DL ready to come take over
the spot. Lying.
Let me get the paperwork and the contract together.
If they ain't got a table, we better tell them to set one up. You need one. I'll bring the liquor. I'll bring it. What you drinking? What you drinking? Jamaican rum? Y'all drinking rum? What y'all drinking?
Vodka.
What?
I don't like brown. I don't like.
Man, tell them to set up. You better unfold the table, put a cloth on it. We coming. We up in there. Miss Sandy B, sister.
Listen. This might be actually a really great opportunity. So let me sign the contract first, and then let me see what they can do. But yeah, good news on that front. But yeah, things like this, like I saw this woman, I thought she was compelling, DM'd her. This is how I get a lot of guests. Just DM'd her on Instagram, and she said, yeah, I'm taking a little hiatus, a little stressed out, fully booked for November, but hit me up December. Would love to be on your show. And I was like, I told one of my friends who was on the New Orleans trip, and I was like, do you know that so-and-so that she's been in the news? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I just booked her for my show. Like, obviously I don't have a date, but she just said she'd do it. And she was like, okay, great. And that was...
You mad? Like, that's why keep it to yourself till you're ready to announce it.
But I mean, I'm not saying that my friend wasn't happy for me. I'm just saying she don't get the elation, and that, you know, everybody's looking for, you know, something that makes their show different and interesting, right? So when you get those moments, it brings me such joy. I'm like, oh, I get to interview this person. Just like, okay, let me give you this. Let me give you this. This was in the top.
And shout out to Sister RM, always working hard, just making it happen. In the, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, RM.
Super mod, making it happen.
This show right here, shout out to Courtney Michelle. Over 4,000 plus views on this show. Again, what Kevin Samuels meant to me, she was phenomenal. It was heartfelt. It was a way that I got to know her better. Y'all, my throat gonna be gone. I'm not gonna stay up here too much longer. But the way that she could speak about him from firsthand knowledge, I think gave a different perspective because it was coming from a woman. And a lot of time when you hear Kevin Samuels and you hear Kevin Samuels supporters, you think, man. But she brought such great in-depth insight to who he was, what he said to her, you know, how he held her accountable and their experiences together. So I was grateful. This was a fantastic show. Shout out to Courtney Michelle. I am Courtney Michelle. Thank you for being a part of my journey. This was an amazing show. Let me see. I think that might be top 10. Yep. Who got next? Sandy B for sure. Harrison Family Values for sure. DL. DL again. Abigail Cousins was in that. Gaston's World. Gaston had me laughing and gave some wonderful perspectives on a couple of dating shows we did together. Dating advice from the Manosphere. Oh my gosh, Gaston is the one who schooled me on a lot of what the Manosphere is and how it works and who were the main people and blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Gaston's World, for being a part of my journey. This was a great show. Go back and watch it. Dating advice from the Manosphere with Gaston's World as my special guest. That was an incredible. Y'all not drinking 120 Ray and Nephew. No, that put me to sleep, Andrew. What you talking about? That's gasoline, right, Miss AKA Lady? What is he talking about? We can't drink Ray and Nephews when I rub on my chest when I got a fever. I might take a shot tonight to get this cold off my chest. But we don't do stuff like that for fun. Like, what are you talking about? Shout out to anybody else. I'm going to do one last call for the StreamYard. If you want to come up, say a few words. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to everyone who's been a part of this journey. Don't think big, small, whatever, that I don't see you and I don't appreciate you. Sometimes we don't get a chance to say thank you. Sincerely, nutrition lawyer, Miss Globe Girl, DL Saint. My Lord. Blessing me tonight.
And real talk though, like, you know, the money is great. You know what I mean? That's what we work for. You can't take it with you, but everything, like you're thanking me, but I need to thank you. Everything you've done for me. There would be no DL saying I really want to know podcast if it weren't that for SuzetteSpeaks. I mean, there's times when I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to do this. And then I'll get a call and it's like, what? We're talking and you're just, for whatever reason, just right there at the right time to get me motivated. I'm just being 100 with you. I got to tell you the truth now. I mean, you've been doing this for a year, and you're the person. I keep saying it. I'm always telling folks like, yo, that's like my mentor in this. Yeah, I'm way older. I'm way older.
Say, I ain't even got nowhere yet. We ain't even hit no 10 Gs, no 5 Gs, barely.
But it doesn't matter because the work is done in the trenches. Like all the dudes are at the top. Right, they all tell me the same thing, man. The work is done in the trenches, and that's where we are right now. You know what I mean? You're just making it happen. Every time I'm like, I'm gonna do this, right there.
This. It's a time game. YouTube is more of a time game. You don't grow quickly. It's more like over time. So as long as God had me on this beautiful earth, as long as I'm able to do what I again, this is a blessing to sit here and talk to people. I would do this for free. That's the thing. I would do it for free. The people, you know what my friend told me on the trip? I gotta stop sitting up front and talking to the Uber drivers. Because guess what I'm
Get
doing?
in the back. Get in the back.
He was like, you making them take the long way. I'm like, they're not taking the long way. They're going, it's the same, maybe 2 minutes more than what the predictor said, but it's traffic out here. What you talking about? But that is me in my natural. That is me in my flow, to see a person and understand a person, what makes them tick, what is their life experience. My Spanish wasn't too bad, mind you. I had a whole conversation with a Dominican in New Orleans, and he didn't speak no English, and I was like, I can understand almost everything he's saying. Like, it was amazing.
Well, you live in Miami, you down in the day, you should be habla español. Y'all know what it is.
It's still the high school Spanish though. It's rough, but I did take an advanced level of Spanish up until senior year. But nonetheless, those moments I cherish. My friends are like, "What are you doing? Why are you?" I'm like, "You got to get to know the Uber driver. That's a part of the adventure. What are you guys talking about?" But everybody has their own. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to be able to do what you would do regardless, and just put it on a platform that other people maybe enjoy. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Shout out to anyone who has been a panelist, who has been a special guest, right? A designated guest. I have too many to name. When I was looking at some of the past thumbnails, I just had too many to name. Don't call me no crybaby. Leave me alone, guys.
Yeah, you trying to cry. And shout out to Sister RM's channel. Y'all go like and subscribe over there.
Yes, RM has a channel. Hello. I always omit. I gotta remember. RM has a channel. Feel free to drop that in anytime, RM. I want to support you and see your channel grow too, sis. You give so much around these YouTube streets and help other people's channels like mine. I can't thank you enough. So subscribe to RM, y'all. She does a channel that is an ode to 1950s housewifery and retro sensibility. Shout out to you, sis. I hope your channel is doing well and growing. And thank you for being here for me. But this was one of my faves. You see Gas's World. You see Before the Bill. You see Kosher. And there were several other men. I'm sorry. Hello. Oof. There were several other men. Probably about 10 gentlemen on a wonderful old school versus new school Black Men Speak. This was a great show. Again, I got a catalog. I could literally give y'all 10-minute sound bites. Don't forget
about Black Man Unfiltered Network.
Yeah, shout out to Black Man Unfiltered as well. We did a wonderful show. Like I said, I couldn't get everybody's thumbnails in them. I mean, the one we did on Free Willy, Jezebel, the Jezebel Spirit.
That was a great one. That was a great one.
And all the brothers that come from Black Men Unfiltered. Shout out to, oh my gosh, I can't even think about it. Shoo. You
got Shoo Mandrell. You got Dusto, who was on last night. I was ninja watching. I couldn't jump on, but I saw him pop in.
Dusto, shout out to you. Dusto had me a little laughing, confused, and not all the way puzzled, but just focused on what he was saying. Had not interacted with him before. But yeah, I've had so many great guests again. Not that I'm not putting every single person up here. I have over 100 shows in SuzetteSpeaks live stream playlist. So if I omit you, if I didn't say your name, just know I love you. I'm going to go quickly, Theo, just give maybe another 10 minutes or so. Come my throat. I'm also.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. We here for you, sis. This is you.
It's like I'm enjoying the moment and the giving. Thank you. Thank you again to everyone who has supported this stream and beyond, every past stream. Nutrition Lawyer, big up yourself. Big up yourself, Miss Globe Girl. Big up yourself, DL. Say cheers. You got it. Cheers. My water with your, what is it, Hennessy?
It was.
Cheers. Cheers, my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything. DL Say in the building and holding me up as well. I'm going to just say a couple of other shows I want y'all to go back and watch because it's just been my pleasure. And I just, Gaston, I hope you got your shout out, darling. I hope you saw that. Your show, Dating Advice from the Manosphere, made the top 10, brother. So, yeah, lots of good times. Oh, appreciate that. Yes. You're so funny. And you talk about she's easy to speak, but she's a true man tamer. Lord God, that's I don't know about that. Cheers for sure. Cheers to y'all. These shows I also wanted just to mention, and again, I could have made so many more mentions, but I just was like, let me give it some because I was going through my old thumbnails. Thank you that I made. Thank you, Nelson Counseling. The Mental Health Men Hide was a powerful show. We did it on a Saturday. Sometimes Saturday, people are busy. You don't get the likes, you don't get the views as much. But this show, I'm definitely going to clip up. I have to go back and start clipping these, DL, because there were so many great points that people shared and that he made. That was a really good show. Shout out to Nelson Counseling. This one, DL, I don't know if people know, one of my earliest shows, when I first came on, there was a young lady, I don't know if you guys have heard of her, Mia Marcano, who was abducted in Orlando. And at first, her story was not making the national news the way it should have. And there was something about this young lady who had just gone away to school at UCF, reminded me so much of myself or any of my cousins. Could have been me. And I thought about it and I was like, God, if I could do anything, I did a show. I'm talking about before it hit national news deal, with her cousin who was literally on the ground looking for her at the time. That was a viral show. That was actually a viral show. It spread like fire on Facebook. A lot of people, random people saw me around town, was like, I saw that show you did on Mia Marcano. That was before, unfortunately, her body was found. When the family was in the thick of it, and I was able to speak to why is it not national news. It was the same time as Gabby Petito. And Gabby Petito, that young lady who was on that cross-country thing with Brian, whatever his name was, who ended up being, her life being taken so savagely by him. And yes, that was a terrible story too, but oftentimes when people of color go missing, you don't see it on the news. So I was happy and grateful to have a platform that could even offer anything to a family that was really grieving at the time. And the cousin came on with some details about what they saw when they went in her room. That's before the cops locked off the young lady's room. The family was able to go in there and see her bed was disheveled. Mia was a neat person, tidy person. She never left her room without spreading her bed, without her closet. Stuff was everywhere, strewn everywhere. They knew from when they went in the woman's room something had happened. And the cops was slow, and it's so much about that case. I get goosebumps thinking about it. It's almost a year. That's what's crazy. It's almost.
I'll have to go back and watch that one because I didn't know anything about it.
Shout out to all of the folks that came to me by way of that story. I get goosebumps. Thinking about Mia. Her favorite, you see that blue butterfly is a symbol of her foundation they made. They got legislation passed here in Florida that I think they are blaming it on, even though I do not believe it. They're blaming it on, I can't speculate. I'm just going to say allegedly. They blamed it on the maintenance worker at her apartment complex, that he was the one because he had made some advances towards her, which she had rebuffed, and that he had access to the keys. Now there's a law in Florida that you must do background checks on all maintenance people. He had other crimes, etc. And how they do the keys, etc. by law is different. But imagine just living somewhere and a man could just come in on you, right?
Yeah, I got stories I can tell you. Yeah, that's crazy. And you would think that would have been a law of land a long time ago.
Before, but I'm sorry to break that, that mood. But I just was thinking about her, young lady cut down, 1920. I went to a vigil. I also put it on the YouTube platform here. Before they found her that night, we did a prayer visual up in Broward at a Trini restaurant. Her family was, I think, Virgin Island and Trini and something else. But yeah, it was hard. It was touching because even her mom or her stepmom are very involved in what we just had, the Miami Carnival. She has a band, a float, and was a big part of that community. So just to have shows like that, when I think about that show,
that's what it's all about. That's the platform that can actually.
It was kind of crazy that the way that one spread, and then news Not saying that I did that, but then news start picking it up. Our local news here in Miami first, and then national news. And then, of course, when they found her body a week later, it was national news, but we didn't hear it because we was hearing all about Gabby Petito only. But shout out to the Mia Marcano family. Yes, thank you, RM. Always on point. The Mia Marcano Foundation, helping other families going through missing people. And they help, like, they know how to set up the stuff, set up the Insta, set up the, like, the things that you have to do within the first 24 to 48 hours to make sure that, no stone is left unturned. It's grateful. I'm grateful that her dad, who was a big DJ down here, stepmom, mother, is paying it forward in their pain. I'll leave that story alone. That story hits home.
Yeah, because Miss AK lady wants to know what show made you the proudest. Sound like that might have been it.
Yeah, Mia Marcano was in my that I like, because it was almost like, again, breaking news. I literally was, I don't know who gave me the number for the family. I don't know who. I think it was somebody maybe messaged me. I can't remember how that connection. I was like, I reached out to somebody. And I was like, do y'all know this family? I want to have them on. And they said yes, and they got their I think her name was Sue. Her cousin name was, I want to say, like, Sue Lynn. And she was like, I'll do it. And she was live in her car, like, stepped away from the search and sat in her car and talked to me. That was one of my favorite. That was just most proud of.
That's the whole point of having a platform. Like, if you can't really make real change, what are we doing? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you were like, oh, it'd be nice. What did you say tonight? You were like, it'd be nice to make money or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, we don't look into it. We lose money. I don't do this because, you know what I mean? Like, it's a passion. It's like, it's a hobby. I mean, it's just,
when I calculate the hours, DL, that's why I try to tell people, this is not a joke. That's why when I have my little joys and you need to share it with somebody and your friend says, oh, that's nice, and moves on, I'm like, that was major. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
But tonight killed it. I like to tell people, and I'm like, I wonder if they really get it, with that sense of like, oh, wow, that's the joy. This is another one. He wasn't in top 10, but I thought this was a big move. Shout out to Coach Hugh Jackson. Having him on the platform was a really big deal. I enjoyed talking to him. I enjoyed talking to him about Grambling and his path. It was huge right at the beginning, right before the beginning of college football season, to have him join me. I was really, really proud of that moment as well. Let me think. Is there any more? Oh, Maggie. We did a fantastic show. Maggie, the substitute teacher. Thank you, Maggie. Fantastic. I just think she's a boss on the content creation side, cooking while talking her real food, giving you tips and focusing on eating the right things. Substitute means substitute the high fat, high sugar, high salt for something more healthy, as she's on her journey to better health. And I just love Maggie. I think she has a wonderful channel. And again, every time I go on there, I learn about a product and I go buy it. And I'm like, ooh, I could eat this instead of that. And she put me on the coconut whipped cream. That's so good. The skillet, the little griddle, those mini griddle to make other things other than waffle. She put me on that. But yeah, watching Maggie made me feel like I could cook. DL, big up yourself, Malcolm Garvey. And I think I had one more highlight. This one. Sandy B and Lisa K from the Learn Biz podcast, Stereotypes That Hurt Black Professional Women. Yes, Maggie, y'all go check out her channel. This one, I also was just moved by this discussion, because oftentimes, like I say, we get so many things thrown at us as professional women and what people want to say and, what we're like. And again, that's why I was confused by Mr. Scam Likely last night. I'm like, what women is he talking about? Because the women I know don't move, don't think, they don't do any of what you're talking about.
But there are a lot that do. It's, you know what I mean? I must be
in my bubble.
You in a good bubble. There are a lot that do, and
apparently
that's a shame.
Lot. Thank God for my little bubble. So these ladies in this show talking about what we go through, and just in terms of, again, even on the dating side, what people assume about professional women. It was very moving, and I thought we did some work with this lady. So shout out to the Learn Biz podcast ladies, Lisa K and Sandy B. Law. They did a phenomenal show. This one went for like 3 hours. They were like, girl, we got our own show to do right after. I remember they were like, girl, I'm talking to you. We didn't even realize the time. But the collaborations I think I'm most proud of. I don't know. There's so many. Yeah, there's so many. I can't start naming people the best.
There's so many more to come. Think about it. Think about what next year is going to bring.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Yo, that's kind of crazy. Cause if we're truthful, we barely start on this track. We're barely on the road, and it feels like, wow. I look back and I was like, you have to take a moment, breathe this in. I looked at all the thumbnails. I still have them in my little folder here, my download folder. And I was like, quickly go to YouTube and look at the views. And even some of the stuff surprised me because I didn't realize some of the views had gone up so much. Ooh, one of my favorite moments that I didn't put in this. I guess I ran out of time. I didn't put in here was Coach Cassandra McDonald. Y'all will know. Simcia brings this up.
I ain't see
Andre,
that one.
You know this one. Andre Terry, shout out to you. I see you. Thank you for being a big support of the channel.
I ain't see that one.
Called what was the name of that show? Let me get the name right. Let me look at my Instagram. Most of my thumbnails are also on my Instagram. But it was about Black women in our love lives, career lives, intimate lives. I think it was like, I don't know if it was called Love and Sex for Professional Women. I don't remember what I called it. I tried to call it something that was attention grabbing. But at the end of that show, I'm looking at my Instagram now, trying to find it. Not even at the end of the show, at the beginning of that show. So much that was being said hit home.
Word?
That, bruh, I started crying in the middle of my own show. I didn't take that show down.
That's because you're a big old crybaby.
No, I'm not a big crybaby.
I'm playing with you. You know I'm playing.
Like that. That show, shout out to Coach Cassandra McDonald. Shout out to Coach Cass. That show, because I'm looking even at my Instagram, and there's so many other shows I have not mentioned. Developing Dad, thank you. Oh my goodness. TJ. Too many to name. Millennial Motherhood was a great show.
You had a great year.
Oh,
girl.
Shout out to Nathan. Officer Nathan Daly did some great crime shows.
Yes.
Yes. Show.
Those were my favorites. I ain't gonna lie. And there was one when I was out of town, and I was like jumped on that. Yes, shout out to that.
It was good. Canardoc is God. Canardoc is God Still Important was a great show.
That's when I found you. That's the first time. I met you.
No way. That was your
first
put me
show? Up. You pulled me up on the panel.
That one was really good. Coach a Clinician. The Importance of Dads. Does fatherlessness impact child rearing? That was a great show. I could go on and on. I don't want to leave anybody out because there were so many good shows. Oh, shout out to Chef Kelly Hunter, cooking tips, cooking and cuffing for the season. Last year, we did a cooking demo or cooking show. That was great, actually. Shout out to Kelly. Branding and marketing show. Oh, the Who Can You Trust? Dr. Dabika Bennett, Who Can You Trust? How to Tell Who's a Real Friend and Who's Not. That was a great show.
All right, tell us what shows you didn't like. Because you're naming every show you did in the past 12 months.
I was like, we did some work over here, y'all. I should be happy and very proud of this moment. Because I was like, it was a lot of shows. When I look back, to come up with the titles alone, DL, to come up with the topic, guys, for YouTube.
Titles and thumbnails. Y'all won't understand. Start your YouTube channel. Thinking of titles and thumbnails.
Exactly. Oh, ooh. This one. Real Love for Ambitious Women. Oh my gosh. This is the thumbnail. Coach Cash had me choking up on my own show. This one. Real Love for Ambitious Women.
I'm gonna check that out.
I couldn't even get through the interview. Shout out to Coach Cass. I don't know why I didn't shut down the stream. A piece of frog just jumped in my throat, deal. And I just felt an emotional connection to the subject matter. And I think I was very emotional because I just come off of that TLA Kevin Samuels thrown into the lion's den moment.
Right.
So I had never anticipated me or my personal life in any way being scrutinized in the way it was. So I think all of that had kind of just piled on, and it was like an amalgamation of emotion that I had been holding. Like, that's not the truth. I didn't miss like 10,000 great guys. What y'all talking about? I would have seen them. Like, what do you do? Like, all these stereotypes about why women are single. And when she was talking about just really ambitious women wanting love, baby.
I'm gonna go back and watch that.
I think shout out to Gail at Night. Gail, how can I not? Gail at Night has been also a vital part of me understanding the space and her support as a moderator when she could. Thank you. Shout out Gail at Night. Gail at Night in that stream, I had a DID like this. I had bent down underneath the screen. I had to click off, and then Coach Cass had to hold me down.
Man,
We're human,
cool,
guys. We're human.
But we do it live, and it's hard. Like, when you do these live streams, I mean, people get to see it. It's real.
You have emotion sometimes attached as a journalist, attached to the subject matter. And again, YouTube, we're less formal. So if it was on CNN, you go, but here we're just chatting. And you're hosting, but you're listening, but you're sensing. And again, so much had transpired. Thank you, Andre. Yes, Cass McDonald. I met her at a women's meetup I hosted in Orlando. That was a wonderful contact, wonderful connection. She also coaches people. That was an amazing show. It made me want to be like, oh, Lord, I need to get my life together. I can't be out here. Because if it hurt me or at least touched me so bad that I had that reaction, I was like, ooh, I got work to do. I have to deal with what was going on inside of me, So those are what those early shows did to you, y'all. Go back and watch them. Are you surrounded by energy suckers? Like, I think there's a better word for them, but I use the word energy suckers. There's so many small titles. I clipped them up, fear and other subject matters that was really hurting people. I went there. So again, that was my root. My root is really around empowering people, particularly women. A real question, Miss AKA Lady, as we wrap up, says, how do you manage being in this segment on YouTube? Even in the toughest situation, you stay open to any conversation. How do you manage all that energy? Listen.
Because I've seen in a couple of our Red Pill talks, I was like, it's coming. When Sis leans into the camera.
No, when I get this.
Right there.
I'm listening, but I'm like, okay, God, how far am I going to let them go with this? Because I have to probably counterweight it a little bit.
Yeah, every time I see that, yo.
I get this right here.
Yes.
Houston, we have a problem.
When you see that, that's what it is.
It's because we're all, especially just in the Western culture in the United States, we are programmed to or conditioned to, be ready with a response. We're not really listeners or trained in listening, active listening, right? And then obviously, especially if it's a touchy subject, your instinct is to say no. Because even last night, let me give you an example. When Mr. Scam Likely was on, there were so many things I wanted to say, but I was like, oh my gosh, I have to process what he's saying. And I don't want to respond with something different that is not really, his main points. But not to just, be argumentative, but to really say, but sir, what about this? You know what happens, Miss AKA Lady? After the show, it's almost like those good conversations that you thought you should have had with your boss, with your spouse, with the people that said something to you. And then afterwards, you're like, I could have said this. I could have said that.
Why didn't I say this? Why didn't I say that?
Last night, I was saying those things to myself. I was like, there were so many other aspects. I was like, I don't know if I handle that. Like, sometimes you second guess yourself. I'm like, I don't know if I handle that discussion as well as I could. I like to play devil's advocate. I don't like to just, which is the word? Like, people need to have free expression, whether I agree with them or not. But there were so many counterpoints I think of sometimes after the show. So even when we're talking about what men want last night, right? In my head, I was just like, I'm processing what he's saying, but I don't have the argument time to develop the argument the way an attorney would want. So sometimes you just want to let it slide, sis. Let me just say right now, sometimes I have a part of an argument or counterweight that I want to offer, but then I'm like, does it make sense? Is it quite aligned with what he's saying? Is it just, me bloviating or whatever? And then there's times, sis, I really wish I had more time to prepare because I would know what to say. This part is hard. The extemporaneous nature of this is hard. Live shows, you got to think on your feet. You got to listen, not to respond, but listen to understand first, and then offer, your point of view or counterpoint or whatever. But it's difficult sometimes. But yeah, sometimes when I hear things, I'm like, I know that's not right, and I know that's not what I think. I don't always, because I'm reading the chat, I'm reading the questions, I'm looking at the back chat. I don't always have the argument, laid out quite the way I wanted to. But sometimes you got to just chalk it up to the game. Even like I said yesterday, after the show, I was like, "Oh, I could have said this is a good example. Oh, I could have said that."
Bring it back. I mean, that's Dusto. I get him on. Bring it back. You know
No,
what's
I
funny?
don't wanna-
You know what?
it's
You
not-
know what's funny though? I
Yeah.
tell you what's funny.
Yeah.
The world is so small. Like
Yes.
the whole YouTube world. I bumped into Brother Dusto on Black Man Unfiltered Network. He lives right around the corner from me.
No.
We work out in the same gym. I ain't never seen it. Do we work out in the same gym?
No way. The world is small.
Man, I got so many stories
I
for
can't tell
you.
y'all who I seen in New Orleans. Talk about the small world. I'm not even gonna put that on the internet. It's a small world. It's a small
So,
world. I'm not gonna-
since we wrapping it up, though, I do have one more question for you.
Sure.
How do you holler this? I mean, how do you holler? How do you handle this?
Holla, 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 holla.
When you get that, how do you handle that? Because I know I be looking at you sometimes. I'm like, she want to get up out of here. Like, she wanna
Listen,
get up out-
sometimes even like I said yesterday, we could have gone on forever. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got other appointments. I got early morning. I'm still, you can hear, recovering from my trip. So just to even get enough sleep to make my body feel like it's semi-normal. I haven't even got back into my workout routine this week. So it's like, I think about, okay, I'm going to be tired tomorrow. But I do want this brother to finish his point. So we're going to let it go for as long as we can. But we're going to have to wrap it up. Here go Ace. Ace talking about something. If you did a stream with low vibrational people, you probably would blow up. Listen, I probably would just log off. Because there comes a point where you're like, is this a valid point or is this kind of just gaslighting for the sake of? And then is it like, how long? Tracy, I called your name, brother. Thank you for sponsoring the show the other day. I appreciate you so much. All those seen and unseen. Sometimes I don't get to the cash apps until after the show's over. And I appreciate everybody who's showing love. Thank you so much, sir, for your support of this channel. You've been, I think, one of my earlier speakers. Again, I can't believe I was looking at show dates from November. And I was like, yo.
Yeah, it's crazy. And and yesterday, it's a good thing I had to go because what was the brother, the Christian podcast brother
Christian
from yesterday?
Mansion. I was looking at your face and I was like, DL, go strong with this. But I'm like, again,
I had to go though. I was like, but here's the thing though. He was like, it was turning into a battle between soundboards. Like, bro, you ain't ready for that. I was ready. It was about to be a breakdancing thing. Like, don't play with me, cuz I was like, hey,
don't play. He don't know. Like I said, your content on this channel has helped. I think, what should I say, enlighten me beyond, where I would have had an understanding, especially of the male perspective. So I think, again, brother, go back and watch Is Marriage Dead? Go back and watch your show, the show we did with Kevin Samuels that fateful night. Go back and watch, yes, Are the Rumors.
And that was a great show. That was fun. I was hitting up people. We were talking to media, real media, trying to find out what's going on. They was giving us insight. I ain't gonna lie to you. That
show was fire.
Yeah, fire. I really felt that put me on the YouTube forever after that. I'm like, you know what? I got to keep doing this. This is fun.
I'm telling you, that was real. That show was real. I look back at it and I'm like, whoa. His other shows, The Truth About Hypergamy was fantastic as well, schooling me on the lay of the land. And again, the other brothers, again, I had over 100 shows, y'all. I cannot call out everybody. Just want to thank everybody. Thank you, everyone who has been a part of my journey so far. It's been a year. Can you believe it? On YouTube, we've had some amazing conversations, topics I had never dreamt of. Educational, enlightening, entertaining, you name it. It's because of all of you. Thank you so much to my community, my speakers, and all those who have participated, liked, shared, help spread the content in any way, support the content in any way. I really, really thank you. I'm so grateful to have you as a part of my community. For real, for real. I appreciate all of you.
I'm proud to be a speaker, and I appreciate you so much, girl. You have no idea.
Thank you for sponsoring tonight's stream. I mean, that was like a big deal. Miss AKA Lady Yada, you know I gotta go to bed. Now, I remember when Oprah was talking about lending the wrong people her platform. Sometimes you don't want to have like exactly. 100% agree with you. If I invite you up here, I hope you got some sense. I hope you got something to say. I don't have to necessarily agree with you, but you definitely want to be careful who you amplify. 100%, because Oprah talks about that when she was giving those right-wing quick KKK people a platform, and it was like, okay, good and entertaining, but it was like, what am I spreading right now? What am I allowing them? They were actually using her. She said, yeah, that's a great y'all, great point, Ms. AKA Lady. Y'all go support DL Saints channel, the sponsor of tonight. I appreciate again all the gifts. Miss Globe Girl, nutrition lawyer. I could go down the list. DL Saint, Bernard S. Thank you.
It's bedtime, baby. Let's wrap it up. This is amazing.
I gotta go. Donald L. 3E32. A year strong. Where will we be next year, bro? Where will
we'll be right here making you cry. That's what we'll be. Right here making you cry.
I'm about to go. Appreciate y'all. Sweet dreams. DL Saint, salute to you, my brother. I really thank you for being so generous and sponsoring tonight's stream. As you said, FNF may not miss it, but I appreciate telling them.
They sure won't miss it. Them boy, I think they still in the top 5 most super chatted platforms.
Them boys
they up there. They won't miss it. Trust me. And they got a party. Their 1 million celebration is coming up in January. Yeah, they got 1 million subs. They'll hit 1 million subs by the end of this month. They have a party set up in Miami. I'm gonna talk to you about it. It's
well, we are holding it down here, speakers. Thank you.
We'll talk to you about it.
Y'all have a great night. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you supporting.
On some outro music, you gotta have your outro music.
Let's go. Don't give me butterflies. Don't give me too much. Appreciate you, brother. Y'all have a great night. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Good night.